Hello, welcome back to our grad feature Call to Coach. I'm so excited to be sitting down to chat all things coaching with CeCe today. Before we jump in, I want to share a little bit about CeCe. So, CeCe is a transformative awareness and conscious parenting coach. Yes, she is devoted to empowering parents and individuals to break generational cycles and step into their most authentic selves. By helping her clients rewire internal belief systems, release emotional patterns, and align with their true values, CeCe facilitates profound transformations that ripple across families and generations. I love that. She also believes that when parents courageously do this inner work, they not only elevate their own lives, but also create a legacy of self-worth, self-love, and emotional freedom for their children. With her unique approach, combining storytelling, hypnotherapy, and mind-body tools, CeCe provides a safe and compassionate space for clients to experience growth, connection, and a renewed sense of purpose. Her mission is clear: to inspire families to create a world where children are free to walk their paths as their most authentic, empowered selves, knowing they are deeply worthy and deserving. Yes, welcome. Love it. So good. So good. Hi, CeCe. Great to have you here. We are excited to jump in and hear more about your journey with Avalon, what you are doing with everything you've learned from Avalon, and maybe share some, wisdom with those who are potentially looking at expanding their coaching business and really creating, like you said, that mission and that purpose. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It feels a little bit surreal to be here sitting on this side through all the work that we have done together and with having you support me in that unwavering belief in myself and in my journey. So thank you so much for having me. This is very exciting.
Love it. And yeah, you crushed it when you said unwavering belief. Like, we'll let you chat because this is all about you today. But yes, I love the unwavering belief. I think you crushed it just there. So we've heard a little bit about you and all the things, but I always love to know why. Like, what is your why? Why do you do this? Tell us, your intro told us a little bit about you, but if you were to share with us, why are you here? How did you get here? I'd love to share with all of our Avalon community. What's your why?
Powerful, impactful question. My why. I think from the very beginning for myself entering in the space with, I had the pleasure of working alongside with Nicole as well. I think the why is to elevate the quality of life. So elevate the quality of my own life, elevate the quality of my relationships, elevate the quality of my connections to myself, to my purpose, and most importantly, to my daughter. I think through my journey and my story, I have gone through rings of fire. And I think for me, it's really clearing the path of my own internal belief system so that she can really walk this earth as her most truest, authentic self. And for myself too, to just tap into my power and step into that and to share my experience and yeah, my journey with others because this life, we're only here to live it once and we are not meant to be on this hamster wheel or on a highway. We are meant to follow our calling and live life with joy and abundance and prosperity and love. And I think for myself, that the most important thing is that no matter what, I think it's like reconnecting to ourselves to really know how worthy we are and that we are truly all deserving to have a beautiful life that we only get to live once. And so really that's my purpose and my why. I think it always comes back to my daughter and I want to help parents do that for their children as well, because I think our world is craving change. Our children are screaming for change and we need people who are going to blaze the trails and just, yeah, create that ripple effect of a healed world where children can really like do that, hone in on their purpose and their power and giving them the space and capacity to do that.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have so many things. Like, I just feel so inspired and empowered by hearing all of those pieces. So let me bring it down to what point along your journey did you realize that you were meant to be doing this work, and why Avalon?
So this question like really could gives me all the feels. And I think I've shared this with you before. It's like with Avalon, you guys were able to see my worth before I was able to do that. And I think it was in a space that we worked together, and I was in one of your programs, and I had spoken to one of the fellow people who were in the container, and I was sharing my own experience, especially in the co-parenting world. And I had shared some of my wisdom with this person. And I remember you circling back with me and was like, you are so meant to do this and to help and to guide and to tell your story, because it is possible to move from a space of chaos and overwhelm and feeling like it's almost like impossible to keep moving forward and being able to like continue to see that light. And so for me, it's always like the light at the end of the tunnel has been Avalon since the very beginning. And it's like now I'm there and I'm in the light and I have my own flashlight and my own beacon of light. And I now get to, yeah, like shine the light on other people's path as well, because it is possible. It is possible to heal and to grow through our experiences. And again, that unwavering belief and support in the purpose and the mission, even when I wasn't able to see it, you guys always had my back. And you guys, like with love, pushed me towards getting here myself.
Mm. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And yeah, I think that's the beauty, right? Like being able to see what's possible in another person. I also have my coaching certification from Avalon too. So just to be able to expand that and be able to hold space for that becoming, right? And, you've been through Avalon. I think it's fair to say you completed your torchbearer program. So technically you were with Avalon for just 15 months or 14. I don't remember the 12, 13, 14, 15 months. Yeah. That's there we go. So completed your torchbearers experience as well. Was there any part along that journey when you were, going through the material, doing the training? We are trauma aware, our philosophy, our work is all trauma informed. And, we're really bridging that gap between unintentional harm, coaching and really holding it at its essence, being able to see people where they're at. And I think like from what you've shared, you've really experienced that firsthand. And now you've been able to go through the trainings, go through the work yourself. And I think you already naturally hold that innately in you because of who you are and your previous education. And then just to be able to have this course, what part of the programming would you say was so essential in making your work such a differentiator in the coaching industry?
For me, it always comes down to the formula. And so when I talk about this formula, Avalon has the formula. Avalon gives us the tools, they give us the binders, they give us literally everything handed on a silver platter. And for me, it's being able to live the experiences that I've lived while using the formula and now being able to duplicate that formula in every area of my life and having that toolbox for myself. Now I use that formula and I show my clients and I guide them towards their desired outcomes and their desired goals. And I think you said it, Nicole, it's like, in order to be able to support my clients, it's like I've had to go through quote unquote the shit, right? And it's like I am now equipped with the tools and I have evolved not evolved the tools themselves, but myself as a coach, I have evolved by using the tools. And it's almost now I can do it in quantum time. And so when a client comes to me, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. I've been there. I've been there and now I'm here. And let me show you how I did it. And let's do it in quantum time. Right. So with using the breakthrough process, with all of the tools, all of the modalities, it's like you are peeling back those layers and it's always like coming down to like connecting even deeper and more deeper to like your truest, most authentic self. And it's always, for me, it's the formula. It's the formula. And it's taken me some time to get to like know the formula and put it into practice. But once you get it, my goodness, does it ever work? And it just allows you to open up those portals and continue to like elevate. It's always about the evolution. And right now I'm also like tapping into like my magnitude and how much magnitude can I bring to this world by using that formula and duplicating it over and over again. And so I think that's the differentiator, right? It's like really going in, and it's not only like just talking about it. It's like we have the tools to back up the work that we do. And I'm living proof that it works. The work
Yes.
is when you do the work.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, just taking a minute. Yes, no, I absolutely agree. I think the breakthrough model, having a process, having a formula, like you said, to be able to duplicate results for clients, for ourselves, to be able to walk in the same, like I look at it like standing beside, it's like getting into a coaching relationship with a client and being able to be like, I know what it's like to be there. And I'm not going to make you look at it from my model of the world, but I am going to step into your model of the world and be there and meet you where you're at, and then have the tools. I don't have to go make them up. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to try. It's like, this is the protocol. This is the step by step. I can feel confident in what I'm utilizing. And we'll come back to confidence in a minute, but I can feel confident in that process because I know the results that are possible. And I think one of the biggest things I've heard you speak about and others who have gone through our programming, whether our triple certification trauma conscious work, as well as our Torchbearer program, you're walking away with a formula, a process, a method. You know exactly where to start with a client, how you're going to finish. And we know that success happens when we can duplicate a process over time. And for me, that's like embodying the work, embodying the tools, which you're speaking about. And I mean, I think to be able to say to a client, I know where you're at. I know, I hear where you want to go. And I actually know how I'm going to do that. Like, that's it. How much more confidence as a coach, like when you're leaving the gates, it's like, okay, you've completed the program, you've graduated, here you go. You can leave and go, yeah, like it's a lot, it's a big deal. This is happening. I'm here. And we have other supports in place for that as well. But you have everything that you need. And what I'm hearing you say is like to be able to know and trust that you've got that formula, that breakthrough process, and you can continuously build the confidence in that work. What that can do for success as a business owner, which we'll get to, that's everything, because life keeps happening. It's not like your life is just like beautiful and perfect. Like, we know life keeps lifing. So as you mentioned, to be able to come back and not only know that these tools are going to work for the clients because you're teaching them a way of being, a way of understanding themselves, but you're also doing that for yourself. So can you share a little bit about, I think anyone that's going to listen to this, who's a coach, who's a business owner, there are struggles. We are going to hit things. Can you speak to a specific struggle, of course, honoring your space and all of those things? A specific time when you're like, yeah, like here I am launching my business, about to go, I'm doing all the things, and I just keep going and I do all the things. And it's like that moment where you're like, you question. We all get there. We all get to that moment where we question. How did you break through to the other side and get to this other side where you are in momentum and magnitude and have completely elevated all the areas of your life? Like, can you share some of that with us? Because I think that's a total relatable experience.
Yeah, 100%. So I think as a business owner, that was very, like, even calling myself a business owner was like a surreal thing. And because I always said, like, it doesn't come naturally for me. And I would see other people do it and I would sit there and be like, how do they do it so like in ease and in flow? And it's just like, it just doesn't happen for me. And again, I'm just going to come back to that formula too. It's like that support system that we have with with fellow Avaloners, and the connection and the community that we built through Avalon. It's like when I'm now hitting my stuff or my shit, it's like, now I know that I have my support system. I know that I have my community, and I know that I have the formula. I have the tools. And so I think too, it speaks volumes about experiencing it yourself and getting to those points of like, yes, self-doubt is going to happen. I mean, I still have those come up now, and knowing that it's like, I can tap into my tools, tap into my toolbox, and know that I am confident in breaking through those limitations that come up. And so, and it's again through the tools that we've received through Avalon. And I think, yeah, it's that community base as well, right? It's like that unwavering support. And even like with the mentors and the people who are in the space with us, it's like that door never closes.
Mm.
That door never closes. If you ever need that support, you reach out and someone will always answer the call. And whether it's guiding you towards another fellow Avalon, or whether it's guiding you towards like some of the modalities or some of the tools that you could tap into to break through. The Avalon community will always be there for you and to support you in your journey. And I think that speaks volumes about the certifications that we've received. Unlike other coaching certifications, I don't know because I haven't tapped into them, but
Mhm.
I can speak to Avalon. It's that support system, knowing that I'm never alone. Like,
Mm.
yes, I'm walking this path and I'm creating my business and I am the sole proprietor and the owner of this business, but I'm not alone. And I can look behind me and I know I have a team of people just cheering me the fuck on and having that, yeah, that unwavering belief in what we're doing. And I think it's like we all have an intention of making this world a better place, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's through like conscious parenting coaching or trauma awareness coaching or like athleticism or whatever like area of life that you're focusing on, we all have the intention of making this world a better place. And I think the magnitude of that community itself speaks volumes for the certification and for Avalon itself, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. It does make sense. And I think like, we're doing, some of us come in as coaches or therapists, or, you're in education to be able to come in and go, okay, I have this passion, I have this purpose. How can I reach more people? How can I do the thing? Being able to learn the tools. So that kind of leads me into this next kind of space around, oh my gosh, there's so many thoughts in my brain around. Okay, I have two thoughts. You speak to the community a lot. And for those who just haven't been in our community, right? Because like maybe they're just curious and, curiosity is beautiful. Like, tell us, like, so you're in your Torchbearer program, you're going through the things, you're about to, like, you're creating your business plan, you're doing all the things. What kind of support was so like amazing? And because you've talked a lot about the tools, we know there's a process. It's incredible. Where would you say was like one of those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize what kind of gold that was? And like, how were you held? How were you guided? How would you say like that was a game changer in your experience? Because I think we are so focused on helping others, but I think it's that reminder that like we've got to build that confidence and the tools to be able to build a business model that can reach those clients, that we can serve those clients, to be able to make the impact that we're after and also make an income. So do you have a story or an experience that you can remember?
Oh my, yes, I do. I spoke about this early on as well. It's the I want to say the duality, but I know there's more than just two of you guys. But I think in the space of the calls, when we hop on the calls, and I remember having this like very strong pull to help women in a space of like co-parenting, as this is something that I was very much navigating myself. And I always talked about like Laura being that one coach who would like kind of like push you like outside of those boundaries to be like, but I think this is where we're gonna go. And she would always like pull me back. And I always like with Nicole and Kelly, and it was like that unwavering, like, yeah, support, like, let's do it. And also getting that support from Laura too. But she would almost like push the envelope to get you thinking outside of the box. And it's only when she started speaking to me around like my pod that I had, because my sister and I have built a forest and nature school, and having that space where like children are coming into our environment to be seen and heard and feel worthy and completely deserving of taking the lead on their education, and having their parents in that community and village as well. And it's only when she started tapping into that that I started being able to really dig deeper into like my purpose. And the one-on-one parenting, like conscious parenting coaching program that I offer now is very much in support of that. And it's not something that I had any like vision on, because I was so tunnel vision on the experience of what I was living. Right. And so having that support from three different individuals who have lived different experiences of their own and be able to like really like push you like gently and with so much love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember that specifically. And I would come back to the like co-parenting thing often. And I just remember Laura just being like, okay, yes, I hear you. And
And
like when you're going out there, you can't just like throw out these bombs about like how like your co-parenting relationship maybe like was at the time, which also through the tools and like modalities and my journey as well has brought me to like such a beautiful space in that sense as well. So I just, again, I talk about the support from the coaches and then like you guys being able to really see us, see our worth, see our magic, and then just like seeing the spark and giving it that oxygen to like, to make it grow. And then eventually, like you then come out of torchbearers and it's like, okay, spread your wings. And I think that experience in itself too was a game changer for me as well. Like having that support, it felt very scary, like coming towards the end and then thinking like, oh boy, I have to do it on my own, but then still having the support and the communication and this the system and the community, like through the coaches, through the mentors. It's like that is what makes it that's the differentiator. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm saying that word wrong, but
Mhm.
it is, right? And so that specific well, it was like more than one time, but I do remember, and thank you, Laura, for pushing. I did. I found my voice and I found my purpose and even I found my place within the village of the school that we were building where as before I was kind of like there and my presence was there and it was all beautiful. But when I really started to tap into that, boy, did it like the portals opened up and it's allowed me to like embody all that I am, even when I'm in the school as a coach, as a mom, as a business owner, and as a woman. And it's like thriving right now in the world and in business. And so yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I just like it's one of those things that, you know, it's such an experiential space. You know, yes, the love and the support is always there, but isn't it true that we hire coaches because they can see what we can't? And so to be supported, to be seen, and then also to have the tools to also utilize, right? And I think there's something so beautiful when we allow ourselves to jump in, to be gently pushed, and then to also know that like we have a choice. But that coachability piece, like, yes, like you've been the work, you do the work, it works because you're working it. And but that is, I think, such a big piece to this level of expansion. Like, you've gotta be able to go outside and be able to see what you can't, and then all of a sudden, it starts to become even more clear, and then it's just like who you be. That really speaks to that inner transformation that I think we can experience through a breakthrough process, which we go through in the work, which we then learn to walk our clients through. But ultimately, what I hear you say is like to know that the unwavering belief in self, because of the unwavering belief you've watched others, I want to say, like care bear light into you, you know, and like holding that and being that example. I think that is just so key. And I really appreciate you kind of giving us a little snippet into your world, right? Because it's your story and like I totally respect and honor it. But I always just think if there's someone out there that's like curious and they hear your story, it's like that's the game changer for them now too. Right. And I just like I love that part. So that kind of just brings me to our last kind of question. You know, you're a coach now. You've been doing the coaching for, you know, actually you remind me how many years now? Where are we at?
So it came out of Torchbearers last March. So not like I'm coming up on a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But technically coaching during that program. So it's
Yeah.
almost been, yeah, which is incredible. And then probably coaching without realizing you were coaching before. So yeah, all the things. So
True.
beautiful. Um, if you were to know, like, what kind of wisdom or gem, or if you could talk to yourself 2 years ago, you know, if your future self were to tell your past self something you need to know, keeping in mind if there's another coach that's like curious about this, like, what would you want them to know? Not that they're starting out, but if they're feeling that call, being called to coach in a community that sees you and holds you, what would you want your past self to know?
I think the biggest thing for me is always listening to that intuition. And not veering off course. A lot of times in this, like in the world that we're living in, there's a lot of like shiny pennies and like, ooh, like little treasures along the way. And it's like, it's very easy. It's very easy to get distracted from the goal or from the intention. So I think it's always tapping back into that intention. Anytime that I try to veer from the intention, it has felt like disalignment. And being able to like listen to that little voice that says, ooh, like this doesn't feel right. And being able to be so certain and empowered by that voice and I don't, when I say stay the course, it's not obviously nothing is linear and it's like, you got to have some flexibility, but it's like always keeping your eye on that intention. Like, what is the intention? Why did I come into this in the first place? What is it that I'm trying to create? What is the impact that I want to have on the world? And what is the impact that I want to have on myself? And what is the feeling that I want to leave like behind with my clients? And so, and in myself and in my own story, right? It's like, yeah, I think that's what it is. And you will come up to challenges, you will come up to experiences that could halt you in your tracks and just know that you are fully supported and to continue doing the work even when it feels hard and just always going back to the tools yourself. I think I've been working with Avalon and had the privilege of being coached by yourself in some of your programs. And it's really like now I say to my clients, like, listen, I've been in the space where I knew all the things and I would do the things and then I would stop doing the things. And then that's kind of what would bring me back into inaction. Right. And it's like, again, coming back to that formula and sticking to it and keeping that intention and just like breathing like life into that intention and just, yeah, following your calling and just don't listen to the haters, to the people out there who, because they're going to try. They're going to try
Yes.
when you are so fully connected to yourself and to your purpose. And the more layers that you peel back, the more that you can feel that fire like burning inside of you. Just keep your eye on the prize. And the prize is not the money. It's not the programs. It's not the outside validation that you're going to get. No, it's the intention. And for me, it's
Mm.
always coming back to the intention of this world that I'm going to create for the next generations to come. And so anytime that I feel myself getting pulled, I always come back to that intention. I go back to my tools. I do my energy work. I take time for myself and I stay connected to that flame.
Mm. Love it, love it, love it. I would just say, I've had the honor to see the behind the scenes of your journey. And if there's one word that I could, utilize to even give some example, it's like perseverance because it hasn't, no one has an easy journey. However, your love and respect and belief in yourself has been, you have persevered through it all. And I know that these things don't happen overnight. And sometimes you can hear these conversations and go, "Oh yeah, like whatever, sure." But it has been a constant ongoing, this has been you choosing you over and over and over again. And you really exemplify that so beautifully. And I just appreciate you for sharing all of that. And you are creating an impact. You've inspired me today. And you have made an impact, but you're also making an income, which is beautiful. And we need to celebrate.
Man, yeah,
Yes.
and that too, like coming into that space, and I always speak about like the elevation and unlocking the next levels. I always like compare it to the video games, when Mario goes like through the
Yes.
it's like boop, boop, boop. So I know when like starts things start to happen in my external world, I'm like, I know what's happening next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going back and I'm doing the things and I'm doing the modalities and I'm doing the calls with my mentors, with my coaches in order to achieve the next level. And I mean, if I had an hour, 2 hours, I could write a fucking of all the things that have happened for me in my life and some really big, big things that could have, veered me off track. But and I kept that belief in myself and that consistency. And I think that perseverance speaks loudly for me as well. And for the people that I'm calling into my life now and my clients too, that I get to share my experience with and just the joy of coaching them through challenges as well. Right. But it's like creating that capacity for them to be able to take the challenges and walk through them with grace and confidence and ease. And I think, yeah, it definitely does not happen overnight.
Nope.
And yeah, and sometimes, you'll want to give up, but no one gets left behind at Avalon. And I think
Mhm.
that's the most beautiful thing about it. So
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate you and your time. And yeah, I agree. I feel like we need to have like an hour or a series because we could just, it's like the miracle moments, the magical moments, the synchronicity, those, the experience inside of the Avalon spaces, right? It's like you just can't make this shit up. And it's true. It's all over. I think it's such a beautiful piece to be able to share just a moment of the perseverance, the belief in yourself, and the fact that you get to help people, you get to help families, and you're also being paid your value. You're being paid your value, you are receiving it, and you understand it from that business side. So not only becoming a coach, but also becoming a business owner who can hold both, I think is such an essential part of this work and so important to us at Avalon as well. So to be able to hold both is so key. And so, yeah, we're just celebrating you and congratulating you. And yeah, I guess if people want to learn more or they want to like hear more about you, what have you got going on and what can you tell us more about you?
yeah, thank you so much for opening up this platform for me as well. I am actually launching my program. It's an 8-week transformative program that is going to be launching mid-February. It's called Unleash the Evolution. So it's actually my first program that I launched back in the summer, and now it has evolved to an 8-week program. It started off with a 3-week program. And through my experiences and through the things that I've gone through just in the last like 6, 7 months, it has allowed me to like open up the portals for this beautiful program. You can find me at CeCe Sorensen Coaching on Instagram. I also started posting my stuff onto Facebook as well to expand and
Mhm.
the magnitude. I also offer one-on-one conscious parenting coaching, which is my one-on-one program. And I also do the Becoming Conscious Breakthrough, which is my 6-week program for intense, deep transformation as well. I can share also my stand store, so my website, and off by heart, I don't know it. So I will share.
That's all good. We'll have it in the links below, no problem.
Yeah, and so if you want to find me on Instagram and just, yeah, send me a little DM and I'd love to chat. And if you are thinking about joining Avalon, I'm happy to open up that space too, to
Mm,
connect and share more of my story, because really you guys have created a community where we really feel like family. And
mm.
I just would choose Avalon over and over and over again. And it's funny too, as you were speaking about the synchronicity, I'm just like, you can't make this shit up.
Right?
And that's something that has come up and still comes up over and over again in the journey. And so thank you so much for continuing to grow this beautiful community and for allowing me the space to come on here and share my journey and share my experience through Avalon. And yeah, for giving me the tools. Like, yeah, I'm a lot at a loss for words. Like if I
Mm.
could share and share and share. It's just like my gratitude and how blessed I am to have these tools and to have been able to utilize the tools myself to get to the place where I am today. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, like we haven't even shared about the things you're doing in your world of motherhood and all the things. So anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Incredible, incredible. Such an honor to have you here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And we'll definitely put all the links below, but sending you so much love and abundance and joy. And you're amazing. And we'll see you in the community.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye, love.